Good morning, traders. It's Peter Thompson, Senior Mentor of 1 Billion Signals, sponsored by Merit Forex. It's Monday, first day of the week and the last day of the month. It's gonna be absolutely crazy week, I would say, considering what's going on around the world. This video is going to be definitely long, so prepare yourself. I really hope you had a great weekend, of course, as much as you can, considering what's going on worldwide. And I really hope you've taken some break because this week is going to be extra insanely volatile. So let's take a look what's going on. I'm starting with the first, and I would definitely say one of the most important events. US is imposing swift restrictions towards Russian bank accounts. Guys, this is going to be huge because we're talking about the money flow from outside of Russia to Russia and etc. And vice versa. So it's going to be absolutely, it's already started having an impact on the market. If you go and take a look, the US dollar is just gaining a lot of strength overnight. The euro US dollar chart in front of us plummets with 100 and about 100 pips approximately. That's crazy. It's absolutely huge, especially for the forex market, which is the most liquid market in the world, and it's 24/5. It's such a gaps we rarely have. So that's why we see this drop. We're gonna see a lot of gaps on every possible market. It's kind of impossible not to affect every possible market. Crude oil tops $110 $10 per barrel. S&P 500 futures open with 2.8% negative gap over the weekend. This is also giving a lot of strength on the US dollar and a lot of weakness on the major currency pairs. When the US dollar is going up, majors are following down. Absolutely crazy. On top of that, the week is full of events. We have NFP on Friday. The Federal Reserve Chairman Powell is going to testify. So let's take a look at the calendar, and then we're going to get back to the events, what's happening. ECB President Lagarde is going to give a speech 3:50 p.m. GMT today. That's going to be the only important event this on Monday. Bear in mind that these actually speeches are usually they're not putting a lot of like volatility on the market, but in this specific situation, I am not gonna be surprised to see volatile events during these speeches. Tuesday, tomorrow, we are having interest rate decision in Australia 3:30 a.m. GMT. Followed by another President Lagarde speech 1 p.m. GMT, ISM manufacturing PMI 3 p.m. GMT, and US President Biden is going to give a speech. It's still tentative, we don't have any fixed hour when exactly he's going to do it. That's gonna be huge. Definitely, the market is going to follow what he has to say. Anyway, every possible country right now is very active, considering the situation worldwide. So be careful, guys, and then read the news, watch the news, see what's going on, because this week is gonna be dynamic. Inflation in UK, quickly to remind you, is rising up, and this can push also the Federal Reserve to reconsider the Federal Reserve interest rate hikes. Something that I don't think is going to happen. I think they're just simply going to increase the interest rates because anyway, they're keeping the interest rates super low for a very long period of time, which is not helping the US shares and stocks market, and definitely not helping the inflation. So Wednesday, we are having inflation report in the Eurozone 10 a.m. GMT. ADP non-farm employment change 1:15 p.m. GMT. Federal Reserve Chairman Powell is going to testify 3 p.m. GMT. I'm telling you, it's gonna be crazy. Bank of Canada interest rate decision 3 p.m. exactly the same time GMT. According to forecast, they are planning to start the interest rate hikes as well, 0.5% from 0.25% is pretty likely to see 0.5. Crude oil inventories 3:30 p.m. GMT. I really don't want to give you any idea what's gonna happen with the crude oil inventories because during a war, Yeah, it's not a very big war right now, but really hope it's gonna stop very soon, because nobody like this situation. Crude oil inventories is going to be very interesting to watch. Thursday we have composite and PMI and services. PMI for UK 9:30 a.m. GMT. Oh my God! Initial jobless claims 1:30 p.m. GMT. Another Federal Reserve Chairman Powell is going to testify. 3 p.m. GMT. ISM non-manufacturing PMI 3 p.m. And Friday our lovely unemployment rate and NFP, which is going to be 1:30 p.m. What's more interesting, as usual, of course, the charts. So let's take a look what's going on the charts, and we are going at the end of the video. We're gonna connect the dots. Euro US dollar is dropping down with overnight gap about 90 pips, 1.1162. It really depends what's going to happen in the next couple of days. Bear in mind that we can see easily closing of this gap. I'm still remaining bullish. Bear in mind that also because such a drops are recovering usually very fast. We have a huge support level 1.1121, so this support could be held for in the next couple of days. Euro US dollar looks interesting. Let's see GBPUSD. Quick reminder: inflation in Great Britain is rising up. So which is exactly one of the reasons to see the GBP USD going down 1.3350 test of this support. It's huge. The last couple of days we've seen the GBP USD plummeting with 300 pips. We talk about 2-3 days 300 pips. That's huge volatility, and the recovery from this support is likely possible to happen to 1.36. So I am waiting to see a little bit confirmation. Today is gonna be absolutely crazy day for sure. Let's see once the New York Stock Exchange open, how the US investors, the US traders, how they are going to react, because think about it, still in US is night, and definitely they're gonna wake up surprised. Australian USD is holding, by the way, which is not surprising whatsoever, simply because Australia is pretty far from any country that's related to the US, to the Ukrainian-Russia tensions, and all of this, like all of these problems. So that's why Australian and New Zealand most probably are holding stable. As you can see, yes, not a lot of volatility, not a lot of directions even, but still it's a very relatively speaking very stable. The price tested the support, even the further support below 0.71, getting back above the 0.7170 and aiming to reach 0.7288. Now, if we have to talk about stability of the currency pairs, definitely Australia and New Zealand currency pairs are of course going to be the most stable, but at the same time, if we're talking about huge potential, we're talking about the more volatile currency pairs like the euro and the GBP. So really depends. That really depends on your risk appetite, guys, and of course desire to make money. But we are going to have good opportunities for sure. New Zealand USD, kind of similar like the Australian USD, 0.67 is the exactly round number. Now this is also very important to notice. We are staying right below the resistance level, so be careful by taking buy trades if you have any plans to do so, because it can bounce back and just push the price down, because this resistance is very strong. USD Canadian, and I'm jumping immediately to the crude oil. Just take a look, that's huge, from $91.92 per barrel. Anyway, we're talking about almost $6.7 per barrel gap. That's huge, guys, and whoever taking this buy trades, whoever bought crude oil made a very nice return. Even though I wouldn't suggest you to buy exactly right now, because or if you're gonna do so, be very careful, because it's simple. We haven't had any correction for the last 2 months since December 20th, and which simply means one thing: once the crude oil start correcting to the downside, that's gonna be huge and sharp. That's also very important to understand that the correction, yes, most probably is gonna start slowly, but once it drops, it's gonna be sharp. So be very careful by taking buy trades on the crude oil. Yes, I agree. We can see $150 per crude oil per barrel on the crude oil price and market, but still absolutely $100 per barrel is very high price. In my opinion, the big players are trying to recover the losses from March 2020. If you remember, crude oil went down from $62.5 per barrel to $10 on the futures market, even to negative numbers, which recovered very fast. But still, the big players, the big crude oil players, actually registered very big losses. And in my opinion, they right now are going to pump the price. One of the reasons is to recover the losses from March 2020, which is a good opportunity for us as well. So as long as we see the crude oil going down, USD Canadian is going to hold, of course. As you can see, it's gonna hold these resistance levels. There are many. It's total mess on the crude oil, on the USD Canadian currency pair. As you can see, even though we've seen a very huge overnight positive gap for the US dollar, on the USD Canadian chart is not so big. Still the US dollar is not growing super fast towards the Canadian dollar, simply because the crude oil up, the push to the upside of the crude oil is pushing the Canadian dollar going up, which is pushing the USD Canadian going down. So that's why we see kind of balanced situation here on the USD Canadian. Something that I would wait to see more clear, and then I'm gonna take an action towards the USD CAD. USD Swiss franc, as many of you know already, it's definitely one of the most favorite currency pairs for me. But USD Swiss currently is absolute mess. If you go and take a look, the overall picture of the USD Swiss, sorry, you're going to see we don't have a clear direction. Such markets I simply do not discuss, I don't analyze, and I do not trade. I'm waiting to see better and more clear environment. And the last one, USD Japan. Very interesting, exactly the similar like the USD Canadian, but we've seen the USD is opening with huge positive gaps for the US dollar, and what we see here, absolutely nothing. USD Japanese yen is just holding same level, super low volatility. Japan is involved in the situation as well, of course, as you know, as a part of the NATO, and definitely is going to have volatile. We're gonna have volatile days ahead on the Japanese yen currency pairs. But for now, I'm still waiting to see how this currency pair is going. Simply to behave in the next couple of days, I need to see more clear direction of this currency pair. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Really hope you enjoyed these videos. Of course, I wish you all the best, wish you a lot of profit. Analyze the market carefully, and if you focus, you definitely can find some very good opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, share us and like us on the social medias. Of course, this is how you support our channel. If you want to reach me, you know how to find me. Have fun and make money.